You will become as small as your controlling desire or as big as your ruling aspiration. Napoleon Hill.
Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success so naturally, while others struggle their entire lives and never leave the same place? Perhaps the answer lies not in luck, talent, or opportunities, but rather in what they do every day behind the scenes. The truth is that success, abundance, personal growth, and even wealth are the result of small daily habits. And that's where something nobody tells you comes in. It's not about doing more. It's about doing the right things. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, discovered that there are invisible patterns that high achievers follow. And it all starts with 10 simple fundamentals, but ignored by almost everyone. While most are busy just surviving, these people are consciously shaping their destiny every day. Not with magic formulas, but with mental practices, discipline, clarity of purpose, and an unshakable faith in the power of the mind. And the best part, you can also apply this, even if today you are full of doubts, fears, or starting over from scratch. What you will see here will challenge you. It will break limiting beliefs you didn't even know you had. It will provoke, because perhaps no one has told you before that a lack of money is just a reflection of a lack of internal alignment, or that your failures may be directly linked to how you start the day. The good news? The change starts now. If you apply these principles, you will see results visible in your mindset, energy, and even your finances in a very short time. And before we dive into these powerful teachings, subscribe to the channel here. This is very important for the growth of the channel and for you to receive all upcoming videos about personal development, manifestation, success mindset, self-discipline, and the true path to getting rich with purpose. Sign up now and activate the bell. You'll want to follow each stage of this transformation. A positive attitude is like the sunrise. When it appears, it illuminates everything around it and completely changes the mood of the day. It warms thoughts, dissolves the fog of fear, and energizes any environment. It is at this moment that the power of the mind begins to shape reality. Napoleon Hill spoke of the importance of starting the day by mastering your own success mindset, because it is there, in the first few minutes of the morning, that the fertile soil for personal development is planted. When a person awakens with gratitude, positive affirmations, and a clear vision of what they want to manifest, they activate a powerful energy of mental reprogramming. The first victory of the day is internal, and it sets the tone for external achievements. Imagine someone who wakes up complaining about work, bills, life. This low vibration attracts more of the same: delay, irritation, setbacks. Now think about someone who starts the day by saying to themselves, "I can do it. I deserve to live abundantly. Today is going to be amazing." That, my friend, is manifestation in practice. It's not magic. It's a trained mind. It's like watering a garden with enthusiasm. If you are looking to get rich, achieve personal growth, or break old patterns, start in the morning. Put on some light music, prepare a coffee with presence, and read something transformative, like Think and Grow Rich, of course. The mind, when tuned to the right frequency, starts to see opportunities in unlikely places. You may be surrounded by challenges, but with positive thinking, these challenges become stepping stones. An unexpected call, a brilliant idea, a simple solution to an old problem. It all starts with internal posture. It's like Napoleon Hill said, "Thought is the starting point of all wealth." Having a success mindset early on is consciously deciding that you are greater than your obstacles. This activates a virtuous cycle of professional development, self-help, and genuine motivation. Want a practical exercise? Create a 15-minute morning ritual. Nothing complicated. First, take a deep breath and focus on the present. Then, repeat 3 powerful affirmations looking into your eyes in the mirror. Examples? Today I manifest incredible results. My mind attracts wealth and abundance. I am guided by a strong purpose. Then visualize your day in detail, meetings flowing, positive messages, productivity. The repetition of this simple habit transforms the invisible into tangible. This is mental reprogramming. This is self-discipline. This is self-improvement in the truest sense of the word. The difference between those who are dragging their feet and those who are manifesting is how they start the day. Negative thinking acts like a gray cloud, drowning out possibilities. Positive thinking is like opening the windows and letting fresh air in. It cleanses, inspires, and creates. Successful people, and I'm not just talking about money, but about peace of mind, balance, and achievements, have this first step in common. They cultivate clear intentions and elevated emotions first thing in the morning. Personal growth starts with intention, and intention without action is just a desire. A positive attitude needs to be daily. And do you know the most fascinating thing? This process is free, accessible, and immediate. It doesn't matter if the bank account is empty, if the previous day was chaos, if there are doubts about the path. A new morning is always a new chance. It's the universe saying, hey, start over, you can. And that's when the manifestation happens, silent, persistent, accurate. Because what the mind accepts with faith, the body and circumstances are responsible for making real. And when you transform your dawn, communication with others also changes. It's as if the world started responding differently. Talking is easy, but truly communicating is art. Effective communication isn't just about fancy words or rehearsed speeches. It's about creating real bridges between minds and hearts. Napoleon Hill stated that all great achievements were preceded by powerful alliances, and no alliance is born without true dialogue. When someone speaks clearly and listens with presence, they express confidence, open doors, and activate opportunities that were not visible. Communication is a form of manifestation. It brings out what is vibrating inside. And when this vibration is positive, the impact is transformative. You know that meeting where no one understands each other? Or that conversation with a friend that always ends in noise? Often the problem is not the content, but the energy behind the speech. A successful mindset requires a person to be aware of what they say, but most importantly, how they say it. It's the old story. You can be right and still not be effective. When you develop the power of the mind to communicate with empathy, personal and professional growth multiply. People who know how to express themselves lightly and firmly inspire respect and collaboration. This is mental reprogramming in action. Communicating wisely is knowing that each word carries a vibration. By speaking positively, even in difficult times, you create an atmosphere of abundance rather than scarcity. Exchange judgments for curiosity. Exchange accusations for questions. It's a subtle but powerful change. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," say, "Can you help me understand your point of view?" This changes everything. This simple practice has already transformed relationships, restored marriages, and strengthened teams. This is mental power applied to real life, and this is what Napoleon Hill would call advanced emotional intelligence. Practical exercise? Before an important conversation, take a minute of inner silence. Breathe. Remember your intention, contribute or win. Then, write down on paper what you really want to communicate. Clarity avoids confusion. And most importantly, listen more than you talk. Listening with an open heart is one of the highest forms of manifestation. People who listen without judging attract trust, and trust opens doors where money doesn't enter. This practice improves not only communication, but personal development in its essence. This is self-help applied in everyday practice. Think about great leaders. Everyone, without exception, mastered the art of communication. Not because they spoke beautifully, but because they knew how to touch others authentically. Success mentality is also built in daily conversations. How we give feedback, ask for help, or share an idea. It's not about manipulating, but about connecting. Effective communication is conscious manifestation. You design what you want to build. And this applies to everything: friendships, sales, partnerships, even with the universe. Yes, even your prayers and affirmations are ways of communicating with something greater. When someone learns to use words as a tool for transformation, they begin to realize that life responds more fluidly. Arguments decrease, conflicts are resolved faster, ideas are accepted more openly. Everything gets better. It is as if the vibrational frequency of your presence rises. And when that happens, self-discipline becomes easier because the environment cooperates. And here comes the next big challenge: maintaining this frequency in your daily life, even when the routine gets tough, even when everything inside you wants to react and not respond. Because that's where true inner strength comes in. Self-discipline is one of the most powerful tools on the path to personal growth, and at the same time, one of the most neglected. Napoleon Hill said that self-discipline is the link that unites intention with achievement. She is not born ready, she is molded, trained, cultivated with constancy. Just like a muscle, it requires repeated effort. And at first, of course, it hurts. But it is this pain that separates those who live on autopilot from those who manifest the life they desire. Self-discipline is what transforms loose thoughts into consistent actions and extraordinary results. Many people want to get rich, achieve abundance, have freedom, but they don't want to give up immediate comfort. You want to grow, but you don't want to pay the price of personal development. But there is no true manifestation without sacrifice. The power of the mind needs direction, and what gives this direction is discipline. Practical example, you want to write a book, but you never have time. Start by writing just 10 minutes a day. Does it seem like little? This is exactly where the discipline muscle begins to activate. And this same principle applies to studying, exercising, saving money, meditating, everything. It's not about living a rigid life, but about creating sustainable boundaries. And sustainable limits are those you choose consciously, not those imposed by circumstances. Having discipline is not living in prison. On the contrary, it is what liberates. It is what allows you to transform desire into reality. It's what ensures you show up for yourself every day, even when no one is looking. Self-discipline is a silent act of manifestation. It's you telling the universe, with actions, that you are ready to receive what you so desire, that your vibration is already compatible with your goal. Want a practical tip? Create a micro-win system. Write down 3 daily habits you want to cultivate. Example, waking up 30 minutes earlier, reading 5 pages of a good book, like Smarter Than the Devil, and avoid social media in the morning. Do this for 7 days. And each day you complete, mark it as a victory. The brain loves rewards, and with that, you reinforce the self-discipline circuit. This simple practice reprograms old patterns, eliminates limiting beliefs that you are not capable or cannot maintain anything for a long time. It's liberating. Discipline also strengthens self-esteem. Every time you fulfill what you promised yourself, you send an internal message of empowerment. And this prepares you not only for external success, but to resist temptations, distractions, and comparisons. Positive thinking, when not supported by discipline, becomes just temporary motivation. But with discipline, then the magic happens. Because you become the person who deserves to receive what you dream of manifesting. You align yourself with success. You vibrate at the frequency of fulfillment, consistency, abundance. And when discipline becomes part of your identity, something even deeper begins to happen. The breaking of old patterns. Those emotional addictions, those well-disguised excuses, that silent self-sabotage, everything begins to dissolve. Because self-discipline reveals your true self without filters. And it is at this point that you will be ready to face one of the most important tasks in your personal development. Breaking away from the limiting beliefs that have held you back for so long. Limiting beliefs are like invisible walls. The person even wants to move forward, they have ideas, they feel the impulse, but they run into a barrier that seems to be alone in their mind. And you know what's most curious? It really is. Napoleon Hill once said that the only limit to man's achievement is in his own mind. And he was right. Beliefs such as "I'm not good enough," "this isn't for me," or "I can't do it" are embedded in past experiences, words we hear, and poorly digested failures. They become bricks that imprison us in a small reality. Destroying these beliefs is a process. And like all demolition, it starts with identifying where the foundation of the problem lies. A good exercise is to write on paper, what do I believe about money? What do I believe about love? What do I believe about success? The answers will surprise you. Many people want to get rich, but deep down they believe that being rich means being greedy. You want to live abundantly, but you believe you are not worthy. That's where mental reprogramming comes in, with daily affirmations, guided visualizations, and even meditations that replace these beliefs with positive, expansive thoughts. If you feel like you're stuck in a repetitive cycle, where everything seems to go wrong in the same area of life, you can bet you have a limiting belief operating behind the scenes. It's like old software crashing a modern system. Want a tip? Record audios of your own powerful affirmations and listen to them when you wake up and before bed. Examples: I deserve to prosper. I trust my power of manifestation. My mind works in my favor. This is like exchanging the bricks of fear for blocks of faith. And when you change that foundation, the edifice of your reality begins to rise. And look, if you're enjoying this content so far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This really helps us to continue sharing these life-changing teachings. And of course, it's important for you to receive the next videos about personal growth, success mindset, motivation, self-discipline, and everything that involves the power of the mind. Here you will always find real tools to transform yourself inside and out. So take advantage and sign up now. Breaking away from a limiting belief is like leaving a dark room and coming face to face with sunlight. At first, it's uncomfortable. It's scary. The mind resists, tries to pull back to the known, to the safe. But that is precisely where growth lies. In discomfort, on unknown terrain. Big transformations start with small acts of courage. Changing a belief is planting the seed of a new identity. It is declaring to the universe, I am ready to receive more. And the universe responds, it always responds. And as you break down these internal structures, everything starts to align. The people around you change, opportunities appear, life starts to flow differently. But this only happens when you decide to take control of your mind. And it is there, with this new mentality, that space opens up for another fundamental element in the manifestation process. Knowing how to use time as an ally, and not as an enemy. Time is the most democratic resource there is. Everyone has the same 24 hours, from Napoleon Hill to you, from great world leaders to the common worker. The difference is not in the number of hours, but in what you do with them. Managing time is an art, a creative schedule that requires awareness and intention. When you waste time, you are wasting life. When used with purpose, it manifests power, wealth, and personal growth. A successful mindset begins with understanding that time is not money. Time is more valuable than money. Lost money recovers. Time never. Many people say they don't have time to work on personal development, but they spend hours on social media, absorbing negative thoughts, living on automatic. And then it's easy to understand why you can't manifest what you want. Mind power needs focus, and focus is a direct consequence of how you structure your day. Want a practical example? Use the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of total focus on a task, followed by a 5-minute break. This activates self-discipline, combats procrastination, and, over time, dramatically increases your productivity. Treating time as an ally is like programming a work of art. You design your day with intentionality. And that doesn't mean rigidity, but clarity. Start by setting 3 priorities per day. Only 3. Don't list 20 things you won't accomplish. Priority means what is most important for your personal development, manifestation, and progress. Write down these 3 goals in the morning, and at the end of the day, review them. This brings a sense of purpose and accomplishment that reprograms your mind for success. You stop feeling busy and start feeling productive. It's very different. Use the diary as a map of abundance. Schedule your actions like someone planting seeds in the garden of the future. Fix times to study, work, take care of yourself. Include blocks of silence, rest, and reading. A good book to read on this journey? The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. It shows you how daily habits shape your destiny. Another great example is Who Thinks Gets Rich by Napoleon Hill, which shows how time, when used well, is a powerful manifestation lever. Every minute intentionally lived is one step closer to the life you envision. And if you feel like you need to have more time to organize your life, maybe you just need to rearrange your priorities. Sometimes the problem isn't a lack of hours, but an excess of distractions. Take a test. Monitor where your time is going for 3 days. Use an app, a notebook, or a spreadsheet. You will be surprised. This level of awareness alone is transformative. When you treat time with respect, the universe gives you more energy, more clarity, and even more opportunities. This is manifestation happening on the physical plane. It's action aligned with intention, the formula for success. And when you finally master this art, something magical starts to happen. You become a lighter, more present person, more at peace with your own journey. And that peace prepares you for the next level of the game. Because after organizing your time, the natural path is to expand your mind. And this expansion does not happen by chance. It requires constant learning, lively curiosity, and a willingness to become someone better than yesterday. Learning is like breathing for the mind. Without it, it suffocates, stiffens, becomes hostage to sameness. Napoleon Hill said that all personal growth begins with the decision to acquire knowledge. And not just technical knowledge, but practical, applicable, transformative wisdom. A successful mindset is not formed on dry ground. It needs to be watered with new ideas, questions, discoveries. And there is no age, no right time to start. The human mind is in constant movement, and whoever chooses to keep learning, chooses to keep growing. If you stop to think, everything you know today was learned at some point. But what you don't yet know could be exactly what you're missing for you to manifest the life you so desire. Personal development requires humility to recognize that there is always something to evolve. A good start? Read every day, even if it's just 1 page. Books like The Miracle Morning, The Ego is Your Enemy, or The Millionaire Mind, they are inexhaustible sources of motivation and expansion. And if you prefer audio, explore podcasts about mental reprogramming, abundance, manifestation, spiritual growth. Learning also comes from daily experiences, especially from mistakes. Every failure carries an embedded lesson, but only those who are willing to reflect, review, and reformulate learn. Many people fail and simply jump to the next attempt without understanding what needs to be adjusted. And that's where self-discipline comes in: stop, observe, adjust. This cycle turns mistakes into masters. And when you start to apply this learner's perspective in all areas of life, work, relationships, finances, the universe responds. Because the universe cooperates with open minds. Want to work out? Create a learning diary. Every end of the day, write down what you learned. It could be a lesson in a conversation, an insight from a video, something you understood about yourself. This simple habit strengthens your mental reprogramming, makes you more present and aware. And over time, you start to see patterns, where you repeat the same mistakes, where you're improving what you still need to adjust. Learning with intention is one of the purest forms of manifestation. You prepare yourself internally to receive what you want externally. Constant learning also increases your ability to adapt. And in a world that changes by the minute, this adaptability is a superpower. Those who learn quickly act quickly, and whoever acts quickly prospers. Professional growth and personal development are the result of an elastic mind, which does not stick to absolute truths, but seeks new ways of thinking, acting, and being. This is how you eliminate limiting beliefs and activate the power of the mind in its entirety. Learning is enriching inside, and this inevitably spills out. And the more you expand your mind, the more prepared you feel to deal with topics that, for a long time, seemed complex or distant. Like, for example, your relationship with money. After all, what's the point of learning about goals, productivity, mentality, if the basis of your security, finances, is still a land without a map? The next natural step on your path of evolution is to courageously dive into financial wisdom. Money is an energy, and like all energy, it needs to be cultivated with attention, intention, and respect. Napoleon Hill got right to the point when he stated that getting rich is a mental process before being a material process. Financial wisdom is like gardening. You need to prepare the soil, mindset, plant good seeds, decisions, and water everyday habits. There is no point in wanting to reap the fruits of abundance if the ground is filled with limiting beliefs about scarcity and guilt. Personal growth is also expressed in the way we handle money, and that starts inside, not outside. You can earn well, but if you are not financially aware, you will always be chasing. The secret lies in 3 simple pillars: budget, savings, and investment. Budgeting is not deprivation, it is clarity. Knowing exactly how much is coming in, how much is going out, and where it is going. A practical example: use applications like Mobills, Organize, or even an Excel spreadsheet. Savings isn't just about saving, it's about creating a safety margin for unforeseen events. And investing is making money work for you, even while you sleep. This is financial self-discipline, and it is where the manifestation of freedom begins. And here comes a crucial point: eliminate the limiting beliefs you have about wealth. Many people grew up hearing that money is dirty, you can't be rich and honest, or this isn't for people like us. These phrases become deep roots that sabotage any attempt to prosper. You need to courageously uproot these roots and replace them with powerful affirmations like, I am an excellent manager of my money. Wealth is a consequence of my value given to the world. I attract financial opportunities every day. This isn't just self-help, it's real mental reprogramming. Do you want to get rich? So treat your money like you treat something you love. Track your expenses carefully. Study about finances. Read books like The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker or Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Study Napoleon Hill's Principles on Wealth. Learn about Tesoro Dorito real estate funds, shares of solid companies like Itaú, Vale, Petrobras. Start small but get started. Every step counts. This is success mindset applied to the real world. It is personal development in its most practical and transformative form. And the most interesting thing is that the more you learn to take care of your money, the more it comes. Because the universe gives more to those who know how to multiply. Abundance is a consequence of organization. And financial organization reduces stress, increases focus, improves relationships. Everything aligns. People who live in financial chaos tend to experience scarcity, and this affects all other areas. Those who cultivate this wisdom, like those who tend a garden, begin to realize that wealth, like flowers, blooms with patience, constancy, and love. And with finances more organized, a new space begins to emerge, internal space. And it is this space that allows true personal development to happen. Because when you're no longer struggling to survive, you can finally start living with purpose. And purpose, my friend, is the invisible thread that connects everything you have done so far. He is the one who gives meaning to your journey. He is the one who shows you the next step on the path. Personal development is not a project with a start and end date. It is an art, a continuous construction made of small adjustments, discoveries, and rebirths. Napoleon Hill said that life is a process of constant learning and improvement, and that is exactly how we should see this journey. It's not about being perfect, but about being constantly evolving. A successful mindset understands that each new challenge is an invitation to grow, and each internal growth generates an external reflection. More clarity, more peace, more purpose, more manifestation. The beauty of this journey is in the details, in the silence of morning meditation, in the courage to admit a mistake, in the habit of seeking a new perspective. It is in the simple act of reflecting before reacting, listening before responding, pausing before deciding. This is real personal growth. It is not measured with diplomas or material achievements, but with emotional depth, with the way you relate to yourself and others. This is where mental reprogramming becomes natural, almost intuitive. A constant cycle of self-improvement. Do you want to strengthen this process? Join communities that vibrate at the same frequency you want to reach. Study groups, mentoring, meditation circles, professional development meetings. Being surrounded by people who are also in search turns the environment into fuel. The famous "say who you hang out with" is not just a saying, it's a vibrational code. Do you want to get rich? Hang out with those who talk about money conscientiously. Want more motivation? Hang out with those who seek goals and dream big. This alignment is powerful and propels your mind to higher levels. Another transformative practice, constant self-reflection. Take time for yourself once a week and ask, what did I do this week that brought me closer to my purpose? What could I have done better? At what point did I sabotage myself out of fear or doubt? These questions are lighthouses in the sea of personal development. They illuminate hidden parts, help heal old wounds, expose limiting beliefs that still hold you back. What's more, they keep you aligned with what really matters, living a life of meaning, abundance, love, and conscious manifestation. And do you know the most beautiful thing about this art of evolving? It's just that the more you transform yourself, the more you inspire other people. No need to force it. No need to preach. You become a living example of positive thinking, of mind power, of overcoming. People start to ask you what you have been doing, why you are lighter, more prosperous, more centered. And it all started with a decision to grow, develop, raise your vibration. This journey is individual, but the reflections are collective. And the more you grow, the more you want to grow. The cycle is infinite. And within this cycle, one thing becomes increasingly clear. There is no point in evolving without direction. Personal development needs to go hand in hand with purpose. Because purpose is what keeps you going even when everything seems difficult. It is the star that guides your decisions, your goals, your daily energy. And that's what we need to talk about now. Purpose is that silent fire that burns in your chest. It's what gives meaning to good days and strength on difficult days. Napoleon Hill made it clear that no one achieves true success without a clear definition of purpose. It is this inner vision that sustains daily effort, feeds self-discipline, and transforms common actions into legacy building. When you align your goals with your purpose, everything changes. Focus improves, energy multiplies, and even challenges take on another meaning. Personal growth, mental reprogramming, manifestation, it all starts with being clear about where you want to go and why. Goals without purpose are like boats without rudders. They move, but they have no direction. A goal connected to your why drives you even when motivation falters. And here's a practical tip. Write your purpose in one sentence. Something that really moves you. So break your goals into daily or weekly steps. Do you want to change careers? The goal could be to study 30 minutes a day, apply for 2 vacancies a week. Do you want to get rich? The goal may be to save a fixed amount, study investments, change the scarcity mentality. It all starts with a first step. Having purpose is living with intention. It's waking up knowing that your day has a greater reason. And this generates a powerful vibration that attracts people, resources, and circumstances aligned with what you want to manifest. A good strategy is to use a vision board or goal journal. Visualizing every day what you want to achieve reinforces focus and feeds the power of the mind. It's as if the brain starts working in mission mode. And the more you see, the more you believe. And the more you believe, the more you act. And the more you act, the more you manifest. The most interesting thing is that your purpose doesn't have to be something gigantic or fancy. Sometimes it's simply evolving. Be someone better than you were yesterday. Be a presence that inspires others. Help your family prosper. Build something that stays. This is purpose. And when your goals start from that place, there is no negative thought that can stop you. Even on days when everything seems to go wrong, purpose keeps you going. It guides decisions, filters distractions, strengthens self-discipline. It pulls you forward when life tries to pull you back. And it's worth remembering, purpose can change over time. What made sense 5 years ago may no longer make sense today. And that's okay. The important thing is to be connected with what moves you now. So, take time to review your goals and reflect on what really matters. Are you living for yourself or just reacting to what others expect? Are you building your story or just following someone's script? These questions have no easy answers, but they have the power to change routes. And when you courageously change course, something profound activates. And it is exactly this inner strength that needs to be protected, especially when the storms of life arrive. Because they always come. And that's where two elements come in that work as a shield and fuel: gratitude and resilience. They are the ones who keep their hearts steady and their minds tuned to what really matters. Gratitude is a silent but powerful force. It transforms what we have into more than enough and raises our vibration to the field of abundance. Napoleon Hill already taught that a grateful mind is a creative mind, ready to manifest what it desires. It's no coincidence, where there is gratitude, there is expansion. And where there is expansion, there is room for the new. The secret is to be grateful not only when everything is going well, but especially on difficult days. It is at this moment that gratitude becomes armor. It protects the heart from hopelessness and sustains faith. Exercising gratitude is simple, but it requires intention. When you wake up, write down 3 things you are grateful for. It could be the roof over your head, the hot water in the bath, or even a difficulty that made you grow. This daily exercise changes the way the brain sees reality. It moves out of scarcity and into the flow of abundance. And this change is a huge step in mental reprogramming. When you are grateful for what you already have, you send a clear signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. It is the principle of manifestation in action. But life will not always be easy. At some point, you will be tested. And that's where resilience comes in, the ability to bend without breaking, to fall and get up stronger. Resilience is not about resisting suffering, but about learning from it. It's about turning pain into wisdom, the loss in purpose, fear in force. People with a success mindset know that every fall carries a lesson, and that, no matter how difficult it is, there is always a choice: stop or move on. And generally, it's by continuing that true personal growth happens. Resilience develops in layers. It starts with self-care, sleeping well, eating wisely, respecting your own limits. Then comes emotional strengthening, learning to forgive yourself, to say no, to ask for help. And finally, the reconstruction of meaning, understanding that everything has a reason, even if it is not yet clear. This framework strengthens your mind, your vibration, and your ability to manifest. Because those who are resilient don't live in reactive mode, they live in creative mode. Create new paths, even in the midst of pain. And this is, without a doubt, one of the greatest riches. Together, gratitude and resilience form the foundation of a balanced life. They are like deep roots, invisible from the outside, but essential for you to grow upwards. These are the practices that keep you firm throughout the cycles of life. They remind you of what you have already overcome. They show you how much you can still achieve. And more than that, they connect you with something bigger. Because at the end of the day, personal development isn't just about you. It's about the impact you leave on the world. It's about becoming the best version of yourself to better serve everyone. Now that you know these 10 essential practices, tell me, what's stopping you from applying them today? What excuses have you repeated to delay your evolution? How many more days will you let pass without taking care of your mind, your energy, your goals? The transformation you want won't fall from the sky, but it starts with a simple decision: act. Take control. Reprogram your patterns. Cultivate your success mindset every day without failure. You don't have to wait for the perfect week, the right time, the ideal money. What you need is a commitment to your personal growth. And if you've come this far, it's because there's already a flame burning inside you. Now it's time to fuel that flame with self-discipline, positive thinking, powerful affirmations, and inspired action. Because the world doesn't change when you want it to. It changes when you decide. Which of these practices will you put into action in the next 24 hours? How will you transform your routine into a fertile field for abundance, motivation, and the manifestation of your dreams? Tell me here in the comments. I want to know where you are in the journey and how I can help you in the next videos. And if this content helped you in any way, take advantage and subscribe to the channel right now. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next teachings that will continue to unlock your mind and guide you towards the life you were born to live. Do you see the video that is now appearing on your screen? He didn't appear to you by chance. Click and see, as it can also help you a lot.